at the start of the podcast, you mentioned something very interesting to me, and that as we're conversing, we're learning.
Yes, of course.
And we're changing.
Yes,
and that is something that stuck with me throughout our conversation. But we have first of all, together we have to have the will to explore ourselves and to try different things about ourselves. Something that I very much believe is that our core remains the same most through our life. I think that what I've come to learn so far in my life. But the way we behave, the way we materialize that core of ourselves, it's different. It changes from time to time because we change, because we grow. So the things that we used to do 5 years ago, 10 years ago are not the same. Or the things that we used to have fun doing 5-10 years ago are not the same. Our core is the same, but we changed as an individual. We grew wiser, perhaps. We grew more fond of other things. So we have to always relearn ourselves. We have to relearn and learn about ourselves.
Yes, and unlearn certain things as well.
That's true.
Yes, unfortunately, what you say is true. But I had a conversation this morning as well with about how much we look up to educators, which is the right thing. How much we bring up our children to respect educators. A teacher, see the teacher is always right. But teachers are human as well. And sometimes when maybe they say things to students, maybe not meaning badly, but it's taken badly by the student. That is where a student would shut down from learning. That is when a student starts to believe that he or she is unable to learn. And I've met these students. And unfortunately, they tell me in Maltese that they're stupid because that's what they've been made to feel.
Yeah.
So it could be not intentional from the part of the educator, but some comments, for instance, like, I'm going to use my name. If Mary Rose understood it, everybody can understand it in front of a class. Is that helpful? Of course not. Is the student going to carry it all along, and it will never go away? So the potential to learn is there, always. Sometimes it's either the system or the syllabus, which is overloaded, in my opinion. There are a lot of things that kill this enthusiasm of learning. I love the concept of learning, and learning happens when there is a change. That's why I told you. So I'm going to have this conversation with you, and I'm going to go out a changed person. And you, because you've heard me as well, because we've exchanged these ideas.
Yeah.
And some change has happened to us in this hour, and that is because we've learned.
Yeah.
If there is no change, then there is nothing that has been learned, in my opinion. But, even sometimes going to the supermarket and just overhearing something or seeing a new product, it makes you think, maybe because it's packaged new, we've learned, okay, what have they done this? Is it making me bite? Is it worth it? It's my journey of thought, like you mentioned.
It happens consciously and unconsciously.
Yes,
so whether you're aware of what you're learning, some things you don't need to be conscious to, or you are consciously aware of what you're learning. Sometimes some things happen.
No, we don't even know. But as well, again, let me go back to dyslexia, because anyway, that's my area. Some school experiences, unfortunately, for students with dyslexia, lead them to believe that they are unable to learn. But then I have to point it to us. Are we able to teach the way they learn? Are we able to teach the way every single student learns? Or do we only have one default lesson that we continually, year after year, using the same method, using the same, are we delivering that? Because you have a class full of different learners, so a teacher's job is not easy at all. And it's a different class each time. But again, the default lesson is good for, I would say, the default students, if they exist. I don't even know how to define them, but it definitely doesn't reach everyone, for sure, for whatever reason. And in that way, they are made to feel that they are unable to learn, and that is something very, very, very troublesome and very worrisome, because they actually carry their inability to learn. I've been told, and it shocks me even now, I've been told, like, you know, I'm unable to learn. I don't know, how can you explain? You know, that people get degrees when they're older and they would have not done well at school. What would have happened in the meantime? Part of a lot of other things. Luck is one of them as well. And opportunity and everything else.
No, there is no overarching statement here. There are
a lot of
things. Yes,
a lot of input.
A chain of unfortunate events, perhaps.
Or fortunate ones.
Or fortunate ones.
Because I've had fortunate ones as well that have helped me along the way.
That was one of my questions that popped to mind. What